In a quiet little village, nestled far away from the noise of the world, there lived a very old man. His hair was silver like moonlight, and his face was a gentle map of wrinkles, each one a story of kindness. Time had touched him softly. Though his back was bent, his eyes were bright and warm, full of a deep, endless kindness. Everyone in the village, from the youngest child to the oldest farmer, loved him. He lived by himself in a small mud house near a grand ancient banyan tree. His wife had passed away many years ago, and they had no children. Yet you would never hear him complain. Not even once. Others worked hard as carpenters or sold what little they had in the small market. When the crops failed or sickness swept through a home, worry became a heavy blanket, and sadness was a frequent visitor. Hope, however, was often a rare and precious thing. One afternoon, a young woman named Asha approached the old man. Her eyes were red and swollen from crying, and her voice trembled as she spoke. "I don't know what to do," she whispered, her words barely audible. "My husband went to the city to find work. He hasn't sent any money. My children are hungry. And I'm so scared." The old man looked at her with his calm, steady eyes and offered a gentle smile. "Sit down, my child," he said in his soft voice. "Tell me, what do you think will happen?" Asha wiped a tear from her cheek. "I only think of bad things," she admitted. "What if my husband fails? What if he forgets about us? What if everything just gets worse and worse?" The old man slowly shook his head. "When we fill our minds with bad thoughts," he explained, "our heart becomes heavy, like it's carrying a great stone. But when we think good thoughts, our heart becomes strong and light. And sometimes, when our hearts are strong, good things happen." Asha looked confused. "But how can I possibly think good thoughts when life is so hard?" The old man smiled again, a knowing, patient smile. "Let me tell you a story. Once," he began, "there was a poor man who had absolutely nothing. No food, no money, no family. One day, he sat by a river and wept, his heart full of despair. An old woman happened to pass by and asked, 'Why are you crying?' The man replied, 'I have nothing. How can I ever be happy?' The old woman smiled and said, 'Look around you. You have the flowing river, the strong trees, the warm sun above you. Life is still here, all around you. If you only think about what you don't have, you will always suffer. But if you think about what you do have, you will find peace.'" He paused, letting the story settle. The man listened. Slowly he stopped crying. He started to see the beauty around him, and from that very day, his life began to change. The old man looked back at Asha. "If every morning you tell yourself, 'Today will be a good day,' you will find the strength to work, to care for your children, and to wait with hope. But if you only expect pain, your heart will grow weak and tired." Asha smiled for the first time that day, a small but genuine smile. "I understand," she said. "I will try." From that day on, Asha held on to his words. Every morning she would whisper to herself, "Today will be a good day." She worked hard in her small garden, she cared for her children with renewed energy, and she held on to hope like a precious light. Weeks later, a letter arrived. Her husband had found a good job in the city. Money was on its way. Overjoyed, Asha ran to the old man under the banyan tree, tears of pure joy streaming down her face this time. He simply smiled and nodded. "You see," he said softly, "when we think with positivity, we invite goodness into our lives. Problems will always come, that is the way of life. But a hopeful heart can overcome anything." Soon, villagers from all corners came to the old man, seeking his wisdom. He shared the same simple truth with every one of them. And so, under the sprawling branches of the banyan tree, he taught the entire village that positive thinking doesn't magically remove our problems. It gives us the strength and the courage to rise above them. Thank you for watching. If this story touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe for more tales of hope.